there. So today what I'm going to show you is how to do a landscape, and the pattern for the landscape is just this simple drawing here, and then I've done several different examples. So I have this one here. It kind of just reminds me of a spring day, and then this one here, and a kind of a little bit, maybe kind of a fall, maybe kind of a desert a little bit, but made some interesting cloud things here. And then this one here is a sunset. And all of this is exactly, these are all the same pattern. And you can see just how much of a difference that you can do with the techniques of what colors you're using, and then what kind of sky that you're giving it. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing that we're going to do, like all of our paintings, is that we're going to use our carbon paper, and we're going to put our carbon paper down, and I'm going to put this kind of, let me see here, where do I want it? So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my paper and my carbon, and then where I have my drawing. And so you can kind of shift this around. You can bring it more up, or you can bring it more down. And I'm gonna just kind of make it here a little bit in the center. I'm giving my bottom piece just a little bit more space. All right, so then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna simply draw this out. And this is just a rough, just doing a rough drawing, so it's just a little bit of a design. So am I like absolutely making sure that I get right on the line? No, I'm just gonna kind of rough out the pattern here. And the drawing that I'm gonna do below, once I take this off, I'm gonna redraw this with the Sharpie marker. All right, so, and there we go. So now we've got this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Sharpie marker, and I'm just gonna make sure I get from the edge, let me see here. Okay. There we go. And I'm using the ultra fine tip Sharpie marker here. So it's a really, really thin line. Okay. Just when here, I can kind of, there's places like this one here. This could be, I'm making it water, just to, as a little different interest, but it actually, just because it's a different shape, it doesn't have to be water. So it just, all these layers could be, anything that you want. Let's see here. Okay, so what's important about the Sharpie marker is that this marker, we're going to be using water-based paints, and the Sharpie is oil-based. So you, no matter how much of the paint that you put down, your line will always show up, and you won't get lost in your design here. So it's just nice. All right, so I'm just kind of going back over, and okay. And then once you get your painting done, you can go back over it again if you'd like. So I'm going to take a eraser, and I'm just going to simply erase any of the carbon line that's still there. All right. Now I'm using this watercolor canvas right here, and you can use these for frame these with mats. But if you'd like, you can just draw on a regular old canvas, stretched canvas. All of it works. Okay, so just gonna go back over. This pen might be getting a tiny bit old. All right, I'm just gonna kind of go back over some lines. This one here. Okay, so now I have this. I have this drawing, and I think. All right, I want to do a fall. I want to do complete fall scene here. So I'm going to use my browns, a little bit of green. I'm going to use, and I'll show you all the colors. Let's see here. Transparent. Okay, so, all right. So, transparent, I'm using all transparent of the golden high flow acrylics, and these paints, these are the paints that will come in your kit. And so you can see here, so all of this, these are different. Here's a yellow oxide. Okay, and all right, so then we want some red, and we've got our reds, and then we want where's our yellow? And our yellow, and let's see here. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so, and I like to use this, like the smallest little paintbrush that, smallest paintbrush that I can. When I do the sky, I'll use a little bit bigger brush. Okay, so let's do a, here's a yellow. All right, these colors are very strong. You only need the smallest amount of color on your palette. And then the way that you want to do this, you want to just add lots and lots of water. And this paintbrush might actually be a little too small for right now. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right. Now, so I can put down some browns. Okay, brown. Oops. And green. This, the green gold is like absolutely one of my favorite colors. Okay, so what I can do is mix the colors, and because these are all transparent, you really don't have to worry about too much about making an ugly color. The colors are just beautiful. Okay, so always start with as much water and get your colors down. Okay, and then as you're painting, so I'm gonna put down some color. Okay, and then you're getting it in here using lots of water. And the reason that you're doing this is because the you don't want to go down too strong with the color and then try to go back on top of it. These are acrylics, so they'll dry really fast. And we're going to paint kind of like watercolor, but these really have the vibrancy of an ink. So you're going to put down a color. All right, and this has like a little dot thing, some little dirt. So we'll get that. Okay. So I've got this. This is going to start drying. Okay. Now what I did was I have a little bit darker, and I can go up here and do a little bit lighter color inside the one block, the shade here. All right. Then I'm just going to change the color, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to put this in as red. And I'm just changing the color just a tiny bit. Again, just using lots of water. Get this down. All right. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to do this one, a little bit of green. Let me see here. And you can kind of see how it kind of bleeds in, which I don't mind at all, especially for these landscapes. Okay. So I'm going to kind of let that dry. All right. All right. Okay, I'm going to kind of let that dry here. So I'm going to do a little bit of this color, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red. Okay, so I have a new color. I'm going to see about putting this color here. It might be a little bit too similar to this color here, to the first mountain, but I think it'll be okay. Now remember that once this dries, we can go back over it, and we can do some other things for it. Okay, now if I want this here to be water, because I think this is kind of like a cool place for water. See how like right here I made it into water. So that could be water. Or we could just do something, let me see here, we can do another kind of green, but change the green. Let me do another green. Okay. I'll do a little bit of green here. And I think I'm gonna change this a little bit. So there we go. So as long as this is wet, as long as your color is wet, you still have the opportunity to kind of blend colors in. And then when it dries, you can still change the color, but you would be applying the color on top of another color. Okay, so I'm gonna here. So we're just thinking maybe these are like different colors of fall. This is kind of spring looking. Maybe so this is kind of, but we'll have to see where we're going. So I want to kind of, let's see here. Yeah, that's nice. Nice orange. You see how I can just keep on adding just a little bit of color to my, to the main color, and just shift it in different directions just by adding another little color to it. That's a really pretty color. And I really like, I think I already told you that, because you're using all colors that are transparent, it's really, really, you really are able to layer colors, and they don't really make a lot of, you're not going to get a muddy color. So this one kind of looks like the color, a color that we already did, but that's okay. Again, we'll let it dry and then we'll go back over it. Okay, so I kind of need really more, I need a red. And you know what, I think the color, I think we need red, but I think we also need a burgundy color to pull out some of the ideas that this is fall. So I'll do that. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see. Get this fixed. Then the other thing is that the way that this, you can always go back. If I get, I don't know if I have a little napkin, but if I had a, there we go. Let's say that I'm not really liking the way that this is blending. So I could literally pull that back out and get that and go back over it. So you can literally just, as long as it's wet, you can just wipe this off. The other reason that you can do this is because we're using watercolor. We're using this is acrylics. We're using canvases, and this is, and then this is acrylics on the canvas done like watercolor. So if this was paper, if this was just a regular watercolor paper, the colors would be seeping in. So right now these colors are just kind of sitting on top a little bit until you get the project, until you get this all done. And something right there, I'm just gonna clean that up. Okay. All right. Okay, so we need kind of a, let's see here. I'm gonna do a little bit of a purple. All right, here's a purple. There we go. I'll try to get a little bit more of a watercolor fall. Some ideas of fall. Here we go. And this was going to be green, or that was going to be like a green, but now it's kind of, it's kind of dried to be more of a turquoise, but all right, well, we're just going to go with it. So I thought it would be a little bit more of a green, green pasture, but that's all right. We'll keep on going. Let's see here. I need a little bit more. Let me see here. Let's see what we got here. There we go. All right, another color. Okay. All right, so I like this purple color. So I'm going to bring that down here a little bit. And let me see here. I think I'm going to put it down at the bottom. There you go. So even though I have these flat shapes, I can still come in and give them a little bit more of a dimension by darkening the bottom. There we go. All right, and kind of clean this up. Okay. All right, so we've got, I've got this right here. Let's darken the bottom of this guy. Give him a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Let me see here. Oops, there you go. Add a little yellow. Bring a little sunshine to the top of the hill. There you go. All right. What else we got? All right, let's see here. Clean this up a little bit. All right, some things that are going on that I don't like is this bleeding. So I'm going to clean that up. Okay. Clean that up. Okay. Another thing I'm not too happy with right here is the way that this water is pooling right there. Okay. All right, a little pool right there. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Now these are all kind of, they need a little bit more definition, so maybe I can add a little yellow to this one. That's nice. Okay. And let's see here, a little bit of, a little more brighter red. Let's see, bring the red. Let's see here, can I do this? Yeah, let's do this one. All right, you see how I can completely, I let that one dry and I'm completely changing that. So this one is almost all 100% pigment without any water, just the tiniest bit. Okay. And let's see here, change, get that, okay. All right, and let me see here, maybe just add a little red here. So this was the same red right here, but you can see I put it on top of this color and it's different. So that's why you can just completely make something different. Okay, and changing that. All right, so you can really get the idea of just changing the colors, moving these around. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let some of that dry. All right, now, the other thing that when you're working on these is, you know, your paintings and stuff, you actually can start thinking about, you know, what kind of room you're going to be putting your artwork in. So I'm going to let this dry just a tiny bit while we look. So you can see, like, this right here, the colors of this are very different than the colors for this one here. And you know, this right here might look really nice in a dining room, where this might be too bright of a color for a bedroom, but then just shift the colors here and you've got a perfect kind of soothing colors for a bedroom. So that would be really nice. All right, and so let's go ahead and look at what we're going to do for the sky. So now we have all of this area here up here and what we want to do for the sky. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit so that we have our palette. All right, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this water sky one here. So we need blue. All right, so we got blue. All right. And let's say blue. And here's just a tad. And I got a hair there. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, oh, there we go. All right, he might need a little, oh no, all right, whoops. All right. All right, well, let's see here. Okay, let me see if I can kind of recover that a little bit. All right. All right, it's truly, I'm gonna mess that up, okay. All right, but we're gonna see, there we go, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna paint the sky and then I'll come back here and we'll fix that up. Let's see. All right, kind of been able to kind of get that cleaned up. Okay, all right. So, all right, so what I want to do is I'm going to take a paintbrush, a nice big paintbrush, and I'm going to water this down. Get this nice and wet. Okay. Then I'll be able to go in here. Okay. So when you're painting something from the distance, generally what you want to do is you want to paint the light to dark. So what I mean by that is the lightest color is going to be back here. So this right here is showing that is kind of like infinity in the sky. And so this right here, so I'm going to bring this up. So this is the light blue here. Then my darker blue can be up here at the top. And this is how you make something look like it's three-dimensional and you're not just flat. I'm using a fan brush here just because it's big. It's not necessarily adding to my method. It's just, it's nice and fat and I can get lots of paint on here. All right, and then I'm gonna just go back and forth until I get a very nice graduated color. Okay, then, all right, so now I have a nice graduated color. I'm gonna just work, whoops, just like a little hair. You can see it, got a couple hairs, it must be from my paintbrush. Okay, I might be able to just brush it off, let me see here. Okay, got that one. Yep, okay, got another one. Put it off the end. Okay, and then come down here. Okay, now. Okay, so I have this nice light blue to dark blue colors here. Okay, so then what I can do is I can take a little bit of a bigger brush. Let me see if I can. So now, okay, and I'm just adding a little water and allowing the water to pool around, and it's going to create some clouds. So I'm going to just let it pool. And it's just going to add some interest to the sky. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to pull this around. Take some of the, so I'm just taking a towel, pulling some of the paint off, and just letting some of it be white and let some of it be, all right. And you can see I can just kind of, I really can just pull this up. And let me see here. All right. There we go. All right. Oops. Again, not sure what is, it might even be my paper towel. Might even be my paper towel that keeps on adding some for this like little. Okay. All right. So I like my sky. Let me see here. Maybe bring in this a little bit more here. Okay. All right. It gives it a nice little interest. Okay. And so the last thing I need to do is I need to fix this guy. I need to fix this. So I'm going to see about adding here. There we go. Let's see if I can just kind of cover him up with that mistake that I made with the drips. It's still kind of present there, but I think I think we just kind of work around it. Okay, get a little bit of yellow. And I think it just, yeah, we'll just kind of hide it a little bit. There we go. There we go. It's kind of a little bit disguised. All right. Let's kind of change. Let's see if I can change this to. There we go. All right. So, I think that guy right there needs a little bit. Let's do, you know what? I think this right here, I think I'm gonna do that in a green. I think this needs, I'm gonna change this into a green. Just give him a little bit of a green yellow color. Alright, there, I'm going to let this dry, and that's it. Okay, so again, you can see, like, so I have changed the colors. Another big thing that I've changed, you can kind of see here where I've added another layer, so you can see down here this little thing is smaller, so that was due to the fact that I put my drawing up further in the middle. So, and you can see just how varying you can make this. So I took the idea that this is now, actually I'm going to add just a little bit more green there, but I've taken this out of the idea that this is water, and now I've made it into more of just another layer, another space of greenery. So here we go. So this is no longer water. It's just nice. It's a nice field of green. And then here's this. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you're enjoying this class, and join me for the next class. All right, so have a great day.